Michelle Kwan has experienced much in her 17 years. She earned a silver medal at the Olympic Games, not the medal most predicted for her, but she has not wavered in her belief in herself. And tonight, Michelle has another world title in her sights.
I think to any skater, being world champion is one of their dreams. So everybody out there is going to be fighting.
The fight could come from 4 skaters from 3 nations that have claimed just one ladies' world title in 102 years. Poland's Anna Rechnio has never been involved in a fight of this magnitude. She's in second place. France's Letitia Hubert defeated Olympic champion Tara Lipinski 5 months ago. She's in third. Also contending, Irina Slutskaya and Maria Butriskaya. No Russian woman has ever captured the world title. It is Michelle Kwan who is in their sights, and it is time to fight for the world championship. ABC Sports welcomes you to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The Nightlights of Minneapolis, host to the world this week, and gracious hosts they have been all week long to the World Figure Skating Championships. Tonight, of course, our highlight, the main event. The ladies champion will be crowned here, and the competition already underway with some of our preliminary groups warming up on the ice. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Well, tonight we could be watching the coronation of one of the most elegant skaters in the world. 17-year-old Michelle Kwan of the United States. She's heavily favored to regain her title of world champion. She was her normal cool and confident self in dominating the short program yesterday. And here, in her final practice session earlier today, she seemed just as unflappable. We'll watch Michelle go for the gold live in the ladies free skate later in our broadcast. Peggy Fleming, our friend and colleague, is not with us tonight as she continues her successful battle with breast cancer. And we're going to be speaking with Peggy also live a little bit later from her home in Northern California. We'll get Peggy's thoughts on these world championships. But first tonight, we'd like to turn our attention to ice dancing. The Russians, Grishuk and Platov, turned professional after winning their second Olympic title. But that has opened the door for their Russian teammates, Angelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov. Now, after the original dance, the second of 3 phases in the dance competition, Krylova and Ovsyannikov were the leaders. Americans Poncelan and Swallow were in 6th. Terry Gannon and Dick Button had the call.
All right, Brent, the title and 3 medals on the line. Our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships continues with the free dance. And on the ice right now, the 5-time U.S. champions, Liz Poncelan and Jared Swallow, in 6th place after the original dance.
Watch the slowness of this beginning, the build-up of the passion of the dance. The fluidity of their movement, so great. Look at this. Marvelous sustaining of positions, flowing and edging. They are superb dancers as well as skaters.
Liz and Jared in 6th place after the original dance. It's where they finished last year at the World Championships, their best effort. They were 7th, by the way, at the recent Olympic Games.
Look at these steps and the fluidity of this movement. Talk about difficulty. Note one thing with these dancers, that if you stopped the music and they continued dancing, you'd still know it was a tango.
This free dance, 4 minutes in length, worth 50% of the overall score.
That kind of line is so superb. That is just what ice dancing is all about. With all of these really minor lifts, these kind of movements, you see them pushing the soft part of a tango, not the sharp, traditional, staccato, or stereotypical dance of the tango. They are really unbelievable. They are such powerful dancers. I think more than any other couple, they are truly dancers. They relate to each other. The emotion is first rate between them. And then the quality of their skating sustains and upholds that danceability, that dancing.
Jared's parents in the audience, up on their feet with the rest of the crowd here at the Target Center. This is the building, by the way, in which Liz and Jared won their first national championship back in 1991. This, their last world championship.
Well, you know, one of the things that's so delicious about their dancing, if I can use that word, is that the way their feet move, they move differently. Each of them are doing different steps, but yet the whole is unified. It's a wonderful dance. And that forward motion, those slides that she does, I mean, the line of her legs are superb. Look at this. Now watch here as what's going on. I mean, this is complicated stepping and dancing. This is not relaxed two-foot skating. Isn't that marvelous?
5-6, 5-6, 5-6, 5-4.
They were married back in 1993. Their honeymoon, well, it comes up this September. First time they'll have more than 3 days off since '93 from skating.
Well, the mark's certainly very consistent, and the presentation mark's very nice. I mean, we know what position they'll be in, but they're awfully good, aren't they?
Currently first in terms of those that have skated. Welcome back, everyone, to Minneapolis and to our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The final group of skaters on the ice getting ready for the free dance, including the Canadian team. Shailene Bourne and Victor Kratz in third place right now. They finished fourth at the Winter Olympics. And the French team, Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pézera, in second place here. They captured the bronze medal right ahead of the Canadians. Now, these two teams were at the center of a major controversy in Nagano. Allegations of judges conspiring to predetermine results, and arguments that the results are always much too predictable in this sport. Now, the issue isn't a new one, but now it's become the main topic of discussion in ice dancing. Brent Musburger takes a closer look.
Well, Terry, beauty and grace have been replaced with controversy. Ice dancing in Nagano turned ugly and shocking when world bronze medalist, Canada's Bourne and Kratz, were told by a reporter 5 days before the games began they would place fifth in one of the phases.
Many times you dismiss these things because sometimes they're just rumors just to psych you out or to distract you. And I think, I told Natalia and I downplayed the situation. I mean, you can't start a competition saying, hey, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to end up fourth or fifth.
Rumors turned into facts when after the first compulsory dance, they were in fifth place.
I think I was just stunned, inside. It just didn't seem real. It didn't seem like it was happening.
But it did happen. And whether the medals handed out were deserved or not, this is a case about predetermined results.
This is not about Bourne and Kratz from Canada. This is about an American team, a team from Belarus. This is about the teams who weren't favored on the panel, who didn't have judges on the panel, who weren't politically connected. This is about skaters not having a fair chance.
In the first compulsory dance, it appeared that 5 judges worked together to benefit their skaters by voting almost identically for these 6 couples. The French were ranked 3rd by the block, pretty much in line with the other judges. With the number 3 Russians, you can see the block start to differ. The block ranked the Canadians 5th, while the other judges scored them higher. The Italian couple got a majority of 6th-place ordinals, while the Americans lost their final chance for the top 5 when they were ranked 7th by the block. And the Ukrainians were given the most obvious edge.
A block of judges was controlling the panel. A block of 5, no matter what happened, you knew what the outcome was going to be. And so that's why I used the word, the outcome was predetermined.
Each one of those judges, those 5 judges, had something to gain from working together. The Russians got the 3 in the top 5. The French got the medal. The Italian did far better than they ever thought they were going to do, and then when they figured out they could beat the Americans, they got into the Ukraine got marked up about 7 places higher than they probably should have been. And the Czech is also on the downside and got marked higher than they should have. So you have five countries, unfortunately, that could benefit, and did.
To blame, you must have proof. I can assure you there were no discussions or meetings that took place about this. The marks were real and objective to what the judges saw.
Denials came also from the Olympic head referee, Wolfgang Kuntz. His role, ensure that judges and skaters follow the rules.
There's an accusation, but there's no proof at all.
Kuntz closed the matter. Skaters and judges were instead reminded of rules not to criticize results.
How can you say there's a block judging if the placements from one dance to the other, even from all the judges, changed?
I find that an absolutely phony statistic because it was so well choreographed.
Steve Milton has covered figure skating for 20 years. He'd never seen anything like this.
We knew which 4 judges were going to vote together and that there would be a 5th judge. In this case, it turned out to be the Ukrainian, who might be the sacrificial lamb. In other words, would vote with that block for the first dance and then against them the rest of the way so that it looked... These people know how to use the rules. Canadians actually showed some movement. And they were 5th in the first dance, 4th in the second dance, 4th in the third dance, and 3rd in the free dance, which gave the desired result that they would finish 4th overall.
How is it even possible for judges to play such games? Dance is the most subjective discipline, while singles and pairs have jumps and spins to gauge a performance.
What's really different about dance than single skating is that skaters skate at their level. They don't try triple and quadruple jumps and things that they're taking a big risk on. So they're not likely to make many mistakes. So you get this picture of the couple, and that sort of determines where you think you're going to place them. And too often what I see is that's the way it happens, even if that couple has a bad day.
Here, favorites for gold, Krylova and Ovsyannikov, earlier in the week had a bad moment in the compulsories and were still put in first place. Questionable judging has led the vice president of the International Olympic Committee to threaten dropping it from the games unless things change. While the International Skating Union does not admit wrongdoing, its president expects reforms.
At a certain moment, there is their attack to the judges, you know. Now, somebody wants to expel the sport. So is the sport wrong or are the judges wrong? In order to resolve not 100%, because please forget that there will be a 100% solution to this problem. Figure skating will remain a subjective sport. And also, even if in the Congress, in this Congress in June, on the next one, there will be new rules, it will remain in the hand of judges.
Well, it always does come down to the judges, but one reason that it's always more of an issue at the Olympic Games and the World Championships is that here at the Worlds, you have different panels of judges for different phases of the competition. At the Olympics, you only have one panel throughout the entire event. Dick, clearly something needs to be done. Specifically, what is the ISU doing to address this problem?
Well, the International Skating Union already has two concrete proposals in place. The first is to have specific guidelines for deductions for falls. That way there will be less of a subjective range for the judges to work from. Now, at present, ice dancers perform one free dance. Another proposal is to have them perform two different free dances in each season, making it more competitive. And there are still two other ideas that are being developed. The first is to include specific dance elements for the free dance that skaters must do. This helps both skaters and coaches know what's expected of them, and the judges will have specific elements to look for. Now, the second idea is to increase the percentage of the free dance. So if you have a great dance, there's much more chance that you can move up.
Having said all of that, we'll have to wait and see if anything happens at all in the coming weeks. The title in the free dance on the line when we return to Minneapolis.
This priceless moment brought to you by MasterCard, the official card of the World Figure Skating Championships. 50 years ago, Davos, Switzerland was the stage for the 1948 World Championships and the first of Dick Button's 5 consecutive world titles. The 18-year-old from Englewood, New Jersey had already won the gold at the U.S. Nationals, North American, European, and Olympic Championships, and with the 1948 world title was crowned the Grand Slam champion.
Representing Russia, here are Angelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov.
Here are the leaders after the original dance. Angelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov of Russia. Their nemesis for years, Pasha Grishuk and Yevgeny Platov. And now that Pasha has gone to Hollywood, the road is clear.
And this will be another variation on the familiar theme of Carmen by Georges Bizet. One thing you'll notice about this couple is their really fascinating movements. Intricate, difficult, very hard. They follow one of the main rules of ice dancing, and that's speed, speed, and then more speed.
Angelika and Oleg, both from Moscow. They live and train in Newark, Delaware. Silver medalists at the Olympic Games.
Certainly not the Carmen we're used to. You'll notice also that there's an extreme expressiveness on her part in particular.
Does it work for you?
No. I find her absolutely beautiful and fascinating. But as one newspaper said, her expressiveness will reach to the 70th row of the arena. Unfortunately, there's only 30 rows in it. find them regal and elegant skaters. This move, quite marvelous.
Angelica and Oleg have themselves been involved in a number of controversial rulings by judges over the years, most involving Pasha and Yevgeny, the Olympic champions. And Oleg told us the other day he tries not to think about it, but he never wants to be a judge when he gets done skating.
You cannot take your eyes off her pace. The red scarf representing the fact that she has shot him. That's all the story of Carmen is, just a little convoluted in telling. One of the things that's so marvelous is her height. That way you get more to see.
The leaders heading into the free dance, but a somewhat lukewarm reaction from the crowd. And taking the ice next, the French couple, Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pezera, the bronze medalist from the Olympics in Nagano.
The World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard continue on ABC Sports.
Back in the target center for the marks of Angelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov of Russia, the leaders after the original dance.
And look at these moves, how intricate, difficult, and complicated they are. George Balanchine, the great choreographer, said he liked to see tall skaters because that way you get to see more. And this couple really epitomizes that. Look at these marks.
And those are very high.
There's some room in there, though, still just the same.
As you would expect, the first team in this last group, the judges always leaving rooms, and 5-9s across the board for presentation. But Krylova and Ovsyannikov take the lead in terms of those that have skated over Punseline and Swallow of the U.S.
Representing France, would you please welcome now Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pezera.
Well, they won the bronze medal at the Olympic Games, Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pezera, but because of the controversy, and there are a lot of Canadian fans in the target center tonight, it'll be tough to win over the crowd.
This is Romeo and Juliet, Sergei Prokofiev, and one of the great ice dances of all time. It's the only time I've ever seen Romeo and Juliet start from the end of the story.
Very little skating going on for the first 35 seconds of the program. Does that bother you?
Not at all. I think this entire program is superb. This is almost a ballet presentation, but the applied beat that you hear satisfies it with a very complicated ice dance rules. Dance and Romeo and Juliet just filled with the youthful vigor of young love. The athleticism that only young ones in love can achieve.
As she lifts him, and the heartbeat sounds in the background.
His ability to match her positions is uncanny. Look at this. Oh. You know, that program is so superb. If anything, one could hope that the ending was a little less abrupt. It kind of leaves you off a ledge, so to speak. But the emotion in it, the impact in it, the relationship between the two is without parallel.
And Asina and Pézera of France. The rivalry continues, though. Still to come, Born and Kratz of Canada.
Всем привет.
Back at the World Figure Skating Championships, presented by MasterCard. And Asina and Pézera out of breath after Romeo and Juliet on ice.
I mean, their youthfulness just fits this role so perfectly.
5-7.
First set of marks.
5-7. 5-4. 5-8.
The lowest of 5.4.
And look at this lift in which she lifts him. I mean, you can only find 15-year-olds performing this in the middle of love. You know, it's just an incredible invention for ice dancing. It knocks my socks off.
And the presentation marks in the 5.7 to 5.9 range. So Asina and Pézera in second place, right behind the Russians, Krylova and Ovsyannikov. And here are Irina Lobacheva and Ilya Averbuk of Russia in fourth place, heading into the free dance.
And their performance, Jesus Christ Superstar, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
This team made a jump themselves this year. Last year, 7th at Worlds, 5th at the Olympics this season.
This program a very dramatic one. Clearly, in the freer form of ice dancing, the beat required for the ballroom aspect of this sport somewhat less obvious. These lifts, they're interesting, but they're not as developed as, for example, Anassina and Pesarat's lifts were developed. And certainly not as sophisticated a dance as Ovsyannikov and Krylova.
Ilya Averbuk used to be the partner of Marina Anassina, who we just saw from France. But he fell in love with Irina Lobacheva, and a new team was formed.
Shades of Torvill and Dean. This program reverts more to the Torvill and Dean era. Later ice dancing became more restricted as ballroom dancing, and now again it's spread apart into theme programs such as this. I think that was a really effective ending. I mean, I love the music in the first place, and it sweeps so well with skating. The program not as fully developed, but very, very entertaining.
Lobacheva and Averbuk of Russia. Next, we find out if Shailin Bourne and Victor Kratz of Canada can challenge Anassina and Pesarat for the silver medal.
Averbuk for technical merit.
Lobacheva and Averbuk of Russia trying to move up from fourth place, where they were after the original dance. First set.
5-6.
And there they are with their coaches, Linichuk and Karponosov, the 1980 Olympic champions.
World champions as well.
And their marks for presentation.
They're very, smooth pair.
5-7.
And Lobacheva and Averbuk now occupy the third spot, right behind Anassina and Pesarat of France.
5-8. 5-5. 5-7. And 5-7.
So we are down to the final team here in the free dance. Your leaderboard, Krylova and Ovsyannikov lead over Anassina and Pesarat and Lobacheva and Averbuk.
Shailin Bourne and Victor Kratz.
And here is the team that finished in fourth at the Olympics, right behind Anassina and Pesarat. That's what the controversy was all about. And that's what it's centered on.
And they are first-rate skaters. They have such powerful edges, such strong edges, that it's a joy to watch. The music, River Dance.
Of the crowd won't hurt. There have been a lot of Canadians here at the Target Center all week long.
This is one of the good step dance stretches. Step dancing, very difficult for ice dancing. What they've taken to heart is the rules of skating fast and skating together and doing very intricate dance steps. But this is the section that shows their low edges, their strength of edges. Their use of hydroblade movements that they invented. Long, low kind of skating. These kind of deep edges. Moves like this. A depth of edging that they've been unique for.
They've also spent a lot of time working with Colin Dunn, who is the lead dancer in the show River Dance, which happens to be in town in Minneapolis this week.
Well, step dancing is very hard because in essence it's a vertical movement, stepping up and down. Look at this hydroplaning. Now this is the kind of thing I was talking about and what they have really made their own signature move. Skating is horizontal, flowing, freeing guide. That's why ice dancing, in the Irish sense, is so very difficult to incorporate into ice dancing. Well, there it is. Very powerful and very popular.
A wee bit of Ireland in the form of Canadians here in Minnesota. Truly is a global sport, isn't it? Wow. There's Shaylin's mother, Peggy Skipper. Somewhat reserved right now. The rest of the place is going crazy.
A very aggressive dance, very fast, very put together. Certainly not as complicated or as difficult as Ovsyannikov or Krylova, or as dramatic or emotional as Anisin and Pézerat. But it did have some very nice quality in these kind of steps. Remember, this is very difficult to do in ice skating. And look at how strong their edges are here. And this hydroblading, their signature move, these low, strong moves, really powerful, very aggressive.
Judges marks for Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz for technical
The last
merit.
2 years, they won the bronze medal. Forget about silver right now. They've got gold on their mind.
5-9, 5-8.
The technical merit marks.
5-8.
These are very high marks.
5-7.
Very strong. Very, very good technical marks.
5-4.
Well, we'll see if they move up. They were in third place after the original dance. Now here are the presentation marks.
And there's a 5-7 from the Ukraine. The rest 5-8 and 2-5-9.
Dick, not enough. This crowd is not going to agree with this at all. Born and Kratz finished in third place with the bronze medal behind their rivals, Anasina and Pezara.
Well, the audience may not like that.
So Oleg Ovsyannikov backstage celebrating, he and Angelika Krylova, the world champions. They've spent so much time in second place behind Pasha Grishuk and Yevgeny Platov, but now they will wear the gold medal from the World Championships here in Minneapolis.
They have finally done it. Boy, has it been a long one. Do you remember at the European Championship how bitter it was for them to lose?
The Russians, for the first time, wear gold. Krylov and Ovsyannikov. The battle was for silver, realistically. Born and Kratz just short. Anasina and Pezara again finish ahead of them. They take home the silver medal. Punchline and Swallow finished in 6th place. And right now, let's take you backstage to join Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Terry, it was a sprint to the finish. They were hoping for silver, wound up with bronze. Shaylin, what was your reaction to the marks that kept you behind the French?
Well, my biggest reaction was to our skate. The marks didn't even matter today. It was our skate was so good for us. The best we've ever done, and a nice way to end the year.
Yeah, it was very emotional. Victor, as you know, there have been a number of proposals to change the judging in ice dancing. Are there any that you'd recommend?
Well, I really think they should just go by the book. I mean, in the book it says if you fall, there's supposed to be a deduction. You don't have big jumps, so if you fall, it's a clear mistake. The same with somebody mentioned to me that the free dance should be worth more. Well, then you're in the same boat. It's just a different name of the game. You know, you still have to judge according to what you see and at the moment, not prejudge the event.
Well, the controversy is certain to continue. If only you guys had the luck of the Irish. Thank you.
Well, we do have that.
Thank you.
Leslie, an exciting evening so far, but we're just getting started. The ladies take the ice next. Letitia Hubert of France in third, the surprise of the event to this point. Anna Reshnio of Poland in second. And, of course, in first, Michelle Kwan. Live coverage of the ladies' free skate comes up next.
What child is this? Michelle Kwan's prodigious talent forced us to ask that question. And we have learned she's a young woman whose strength reaches to her very core.
You have to believe in yourself.
Her belief in herself drove her to second at the U.S. Nationals at the age of 13 and fourth at the World Championships at the age of 14. Pressure, perhaps, but that's what drives Michelle.
I love competing. I love the pressure.
2 years ago, Michelle Kwan captured the world title. Tonight, she goes for number 2.
I feel like now, it's the World Championships, that I can do it.
ABC Sports welcomes you to our continuing coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships, sponsored by MasterCard. Of course, tonight at the Target Center in Minneapolis, we are going to determine the ladies' world champion. After the short program, Michelle Kwan of the United States solidly in first place, but you can see a couple of newcomers, Anna Reshnio of Poland and Letitia Hubert of France, both in contention for medals. And in 8th place, Tanya Kwiatkowski of the United States. And keep in mind, a top 10 finish will ensure us having 3 competitors at the World Championships next year. Well, of course, all week long, there has been such a noticeable absence from the ABC broadcast booth. So many folks have come up and asked. Peggy Fleming is home, unable to be with us. Of course, she is continuing her successful recovery from breast cancer. Take a look at how Peggy looks. This was shot earlier this week, working out, lifting weights, out jogging again, cooking breakfast for the children, taking them to school, and here she is now live. Peggy, you look as lovely as ever, but What's the prognosis? Where do you stand in your recovery now?
Well, I have about 10 more treatments of radiation, and everything looks good. I caught my cancer very early, and I'm going to be just fine. I am going to recover from this. But it just has, like, taken the rug out from underneath me. But the only thing that makes me feel real good about myself is working out. That's my tool that I use to see how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, that I am going to, you know, recover from this and be fine.
You know, we have Michelle Kwan, and I know how close you are to Michelle. Her book is one of the best sellers here in Minneapolis this week. And, of course, you wrote the introduction to Michelle's book. Tell us what you think of her as a skater, Peggy.
Well, I think Michelle is such a wonderful skater. She has the gift of reaching the audience and giving her soul to the audience. She is technically doing the difficult jumps, but she's also has that artistry that our sport is known for. She combines it all, and she's such a wonderful role model for all of the athletes coming up in whatever sport they're doing. And, you know, she has perspective on how skating fits into her life.
You know, Peggy, one final question. I asked Dick Button if, following your Olympic gold medal performance, if you had come and competed in the World Championships. That's been a bit of a controversy here this week with Tara Lipinski passing it up. But you came and defended and won the World Championship. Your feelings about that?
Well, I think that, you know, I was always taught and always carried through whatever I committed to through the year. If I've committed to an event, I do it. And if I've committed to something, that I carry it through and do the best I can. But under circumstances when you're ill and things happen, you have to follow what's right for you.
Peggy, thank you very much. You look terrific. Please hurry back.
You.
All of us miss you so much.
Well, I miss all of you.
And we will continue with our live coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships. Terry Gannon and Dick Button will be along when we continue.
And welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard, getting ready for our live coverage of the ladies free skate. And while we have a moment, we remind you that your primetime lineup tomorrow night on ABC, The Wonderful World of Disney has Tourist Trap and then Tempting Fate, two world premiere movies. And Monday night, get ready for the premiere of Push, then 2020 and The Practice, all right here on ABC. Well, this group of ladies on the ice right now. There is Tanya Kwiatkowski, her last World Championships, and Dick, a long, marvelous career for her.
And put together as usual. She is so organized, so controlled, so put together. Look at how neat that jump is. I mean, even the practice jumps are stretched legs and pointed toes, and very nice to see.
She thought her eligible career was over, but Tara Lipinski chose not to come here, and Tanya was training, and here she is. Grateful for that is Tanya. Well, the comeback kid from Germany, Tanya Shevchenko, you may know the story. Off the ice for about a year and a half, had a combination of viruses which almost took her life. And then a great performance late in 1997 at a couple of events, but then got the flu at the Olympics and couldn't compete there. So she was really looking forward to this World Championship. Things have not gone her way to this point, though. She's down in 10th place.
But it's sort of like, don't worry about it. If something else is going to happen, it will anyway.
Murphy's Law, right?
You just got to take it easy.
All right, here is the order in which they will skate. The first of two groups that we will see tonight. Yulia Vorbieva of Azerbaijan, then Tanya on the ice. Vanessa Guzmaroli of France won a bronze medal last year at the Worlds. Then Tanya Shevchenko, Tatiana Malanina of Uzbekistan, and Yulia Lavrenchuk of Ukraine. The leaders, including Michelle Kwan, take the ice a little bit later on here in the Target Center. And a look at the center of controversy always, but especially this week.
Certainly judge number one has done a number on some of the skaters. But you know, one of the nice things about seeing them put different people in wildly different positions means that they're free to do that. And that's a good element, as well as being sometimes a difficult spot.
So here on the ice from Azerbaijan, although originally she is from Moscow, that's where she lives now, Yulia Vorbieva in 11th place after the short program. This ladies free skate 4 minutes in length. 2 sets of marks, technical merit and presentation, and it's worth 2/3 of the overall score.
Now watch the elements that every judge is looking at first, such as this triple Lutz jump. And it was only a double. That's because she just took so long to get into that jump. She held it so long that I suspect the body kind of quietly froze. However, this might be better. A triple flip, double toe loop, and it was. Now, as you can tell already, she's a very traditional skater. She's not letting go with a great deal of flair. She hasn't yet developed an excitement about her, and that's going to, I think, not give her the kind of push that she needs to get the judges to give her attention.
It's not her first trip to the World Championships. She finished 9th back in 1996, but then 21st last season. Came in 16th at the Olympics in Nagano.
But, you know, everybody does triple jumps. It's no longer satisfactory just to do one. You've got to do one with flair and speed and excitement and pointed legs. Like that was a very nice triple Salchow, but it didn't sing. And that is what it takes to get everybody to note what you're doing. Loop jump. Oh, but it was a double. That's the other thing you can't do, is flake out on these jumps and double them up when they should be triples and when they're intended to be triples.
Did you ever flake out in your career?
Yes, but I did by falling across the ice. Another Lutz. Look at the way she holds that so slowly going into it. It's almost as if she freezes up. And that's why it doubled up instead of being a triple. I mean, again, only a double loop, and now she's trying it again, and did. Now this has good speed. Back position isn't very good, but the speed is fast, the spin is fast and centered, and very nice. Now she's pulling it into a back spin. Little bend on the position, but the spin is good. Nice. Traveling a little bit. As good as that last spin was, it wasn't good enough to pull up the entire program. I don't think she'll perform. She'll get the greatest marks at this point.
Well, we'll wait and see when we come back. 23-year-old Yulia Vorbieva of Azerbaijan. On the ice next, though, Tanya Kwiatkowski closing out a career here at the Target Center. Welcome back. Our live coverage of the ladies free skate underway. Yulia Vorbieva of Azerbaijan, the first set of marks.
Now remember, these are for the technical quality of the program. How difficult jumps did she do, and how well did she do them? Both jumps and spins. This mark for presentation is all of the other good things that come into the sport. Music, choreography, style, position, all of those marvelous elements in addition. But the Hungarian judge, note, has got her in 8th place so far.
So the madness continues. Been like that all week.
I'm not sure quite what she's thinking, the Hungarian judge.
Representing the United States, Tanya Kwiatkowski.
And a standing ovation for Tanya Kwiatkowski as she takes the ice in appreciation for a long, marvelous career. 26 years old.
That's like the judges, too. They respect when you give solid, conservative, traditional hard work for over a period of time. They respect that and reward it. The audience does, too. And if she can get through this first combination, she'll be a very happy young lady. Triple Lutz double toe loop. Short crossover. Beautiful, beautiful triple Lutz. And very nice double toe combination part of it.
She was so nervous when she took the ice in her short program, but it was a successful one. And in 8th place heading into this free skate.
Now this, the other difficult element, a triple flip. Oh, but she pulled that one out very well. And look at the short entrance into this spin and the very nice camel position that she went into. Good start. Triple Salchow. Double.
After a 4th place finish at this year's U.S. Nationals and a failure to make the Olympic team. New life, though, as Tara Lipinski did not come here to Minneapolis to compete. Tanya continued her training.
That was completed. There might have been a little 2-foot there, but essentially it was a fulfilled jump.
Not only competing for herself, but also for spots on the world team for the Americans next year. A top 10 finish should assure the Americans of having 3 at Worlds.
Again, a triple Lutz. Wow. Music from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Double axel. Well, she's over the hump, as they say.
That is the way to end a career.
Well, I don't think she's ending her career. She's just ending this phase of her career. She's going to go on to a lot more very competitive and entertaining moments in skating. she's got a lot ahead of her yet.
The last time her father, Phil, will watch her skate as an eligible skater, though, and at the World Championships. Tears in his eyes yesterday. Got to be tears for both parents today, too. Tanya Kwiatkowski bringing the house down. They've just now settled back into their seats here at the Target Center after what may have been Tanya Kwiatkowski's best ever.
And look at the short entrance there, that last-minute uncrossing of the feet. But then look at how tight, pointed, straight they are in the air. Don't tell me that you can't have pointed feet. Look at her father cheering.
Unadulterated pride. That's what that is. And her coach, Carol Heiss-Jenkins, with Glenn Watts. She has been with Carol Heiss for 18.5 years.
For technical merit. 5-0, 5-3, 5-3, 5-4.
Anything short of 6.0s, this crowd would have been disappointed in. So,
well, you know, those are a lot of those marks are 5-4s and 5-5s, and those are very acceptable. I don't, I'm afraid, understand the 4.9, but she is first among all of those who have skated today.
You're right. As of right now, in terms of those in the free skate, she is in first.
And many of these marks are really quite acceptable. 5-6s and 5-5s. Those are very commendable marks.
So we continue with our live coverage of the ladies free skate here at the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. Terry Gannon, Dick Button, ringside. As Vanessa Guzmaroli of France takes the ice. She shocked most in the skating world a year ago when she captured the bronze medal at the World Championships.
Now, she's been having trouble. She had a very bad practice earlier today. She left early, I think not in very good spirits. This will be interesting. Difficult combination, a triple flip, which was a double flip only. I mean, she has yet in the program to put in a two-jump combination, of which one will be a triple jump. This was to have been a single triple Lutz jump. Let's see what happens. And it became a single jump.
Dick, not that it was the case there, but you've commented all week on how close to the board many of these skaters get before they start their jump. What do you think that is?
Well, I don't think that is the reason why she singled both of those jumps, because the flip just before was not close to the board. Everybody does it. I used to do it. Everybody I know does it. Even there, you see, she wasn't that close, but from a certain angle, it looks close. But from the long one that the Lutz is, they are close. And yes, they're bound to affect you. These moves are very interesting. Watch this. Beautifully, beautifully interesting. Just, I mean, that's magnificent. But this position right here, not good, where she rounds her back and then pumps it in the stroking. But she needs this. And she didn't, again, it was just two double jumps. She is going to, I'm sorry to say it, she's going to go nowhere in this competition.
Well, she was 6th at the Olympics this season. Mentioned the bronze medal at Worlds last year, and 9th after the short program coming into tonight.
The music, remember, is based upon 4 elements of water, earth, air, and fire by various composers. that was a triple Salchow at last.
Don't know about fire, but she knows a lot about water. She's also a two-time French water skiing national champion.
This combination, first the double axel, which was a single axle, and a double toe loop. Remember, she's in 9th place at the end of the short program, and I doubt whether she'll pull up much with this performance. Well, not her moment in any way, shape, or form.
Be tough to move up from the 9th place after the short program. Vanessa Guzmaroli of France. Her effort here in the free skate. Michelle Kwan live backstage getting ready. She's up later on. We're back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard after this from our ABC stations.
For technical merit.
The Target Center just about filled up right now as we continue with our live coverage of the ladies free skate here at the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. Vanessa Guzmaroli only had 1 year of international experience when she won a bronze last year. Not going to happen here, though.
And she's obviously a very dejected young lady. It was a program that just never happened. Neither was it a good program, nor were the elements. I mean, they were just a doubled all the way through it.
Look at the
You can't do that.
difference in placements again.
I cannot fault the judges on this, knowing where to put them. That was not a wide range from 9th to 12th. Give the judges credit for that one.
So Tanya Kwiatkowski, with a terrific effort in her last free skate of her eligible career, leads over Sokolova of Russia and then Vorobiyeva of Azerbaijan at this point in terms of those that have skated in this portion of the competition.
And that's very commendable. And
So
this young lady, Tanya Shevchenko, really is charming, very vulnerable, very sort of elegant, and
trying to come back once again. She's in 10th place after the short.
now she too had a disastrous practice, but she's also a lady who is known to be able to skate well under pressure. Now on this jump, look at the spring. That means the ability to jump high in the air. She gets very good height on that. Nice spring. Triple toe loop.
It's an incredible story that you may know, but the more you think of it, to realize what she has been through. Rare combination of viruses, almost took her life off the ice for a year and a half. Came back at the Champion Series final this season, finished second right behind Tara Lipinski, pulling off 7 triple jumps, the best performance of her career. But then missed the Olympics with the flu.
Good revolution. Good revolution. She has the potential to be a very elegant skater. Now the problem there was, again, the reach back of the free leg. She didn't. And the jump doubled. Again, a triple Lutz. And you could see that there wasn't the height that she normally has, that I've pointed out on many occasions before. The revolution wasn't completed, and that caused the fall. Salchow. Not a very good landing, but at least a completed jump. It almost appears as though she's becoming a little tired. If I had one criticism of her skating, it would be that she sometimes allows herself to become round-shouldered, and that detracts from the very long-legged, elegant look that she could achieve. Not a double, but a single axel. Double toe loop at the end. Well, that was clearly a program that ran out of steam. A performance that ran out of steam also.
Well, her immune system has worked overtime the past year and a half, 2 years, and she did look fatigued at the end. Tanya Shevchenko. Back at the target center, Tanya Shevchenko, the man on the right with the matching hat and tie, Peter Jonas, her coach, who stood with her throughout her battle against the illness.
And you look, those marks are what can you say? Look at this. Now watch her not reach back far enough right there. And she did not get the height. The feet were still crossed at the landing. Compared to the first triple Lutz, it was nowhere near as good. And these marks are, you know, what can I say? They're all in there, and there's nothing really to comment on with that.
So we won't. Tanya Shevchenko in second place, and Tanya Kwiatkowski of the U.S. still in the lead. But here is Tatiana Malanina of Uzbekistan in 7th place after the short program. She competed at the Olympics this year and was an 8th place finisher. So a positive season so far for this 25-year-old.
And she's really quite wonderful. She has a very precise, traditional kind of skating. The music, Aladdin, by Alan Menken. Now look at how steady, neat, and clean that was. The free leg on this. She did not reach back, and it looked as though she didn't even attempt a triple. Again, you've got to go back to looking at the entrance of the jump. That will tell you the story of the jump.
Tatiana, born in Russia, was not a part of the big Moscow, St. Petersburg skating schools, coached by her father early on. Moved for 6 years to Uzbekistan, and now is back in Russia. And when you look at this competition, this portion, of the 30 skaters involved, 7 from former Soviet republics. They're all in the top 13. Gives you some insight into how successful they've been.
And also to the total effect of this breakup of the Soviet Union. She was off on that one, on the back inside edge. She's got a very tight physique. I mean, she's slender. She moves beautifully on the ice in a very traditional way. Very straightforward skater. Double axel. Now she's singling it out. What is happening to these ladies? There, that's right. That's the way to do it. Lay back with a very mediocre position. The free leg bent and not at all stylishly held back or out. Toe loop. Nice speed on this. And very controlled. Now watch the circles in the ice. They're more or less staying in one spot. Now they're traveling. I think one of the things you have to remember in the skating world is that you have to be able to be good enough so that when you skate 25% under your top level, you're still better than the next skater.
Backstage getting ready. Anna Reshnio of Poland, surprisingly in second place. The top group still to skate here. Tatiana Malinina of Uzbekistan, best finish at Worlds 13th in 96. She'll do better than that tonight.
And there's a, yeah, I mean, these marks are relatively consistent, and it's kind of immaterial in the long run where a skater comes when they're this far down.
And here is Yulia Lavrenchuk of Ukraine. Finished 11th at the Olympics, in 12th place after the short program. She was 9th last year at Worlds, so this has not been a good year for her.
Now I've seen her skate absolutely brilliantly, and then I've seen her skate and just mess everything up. I think we were seeing a very up and down quality with all of the ladies today.
See, Tanya Kwiatkowski still leads in terms of those that have skated here.
Except for Tanya Kwiatkowski.
Right.
Now, if she needs anything, she needs this. She needs this triple Lutz. Now watch the reach back. Not far enough. Not far enough. But at least it wasn't a disaster.
Yulia twice has won the national championship of Ukraine. She's kind of gone back and forth with Yelena Lyashenko, who is in the final group of skaters that we'll see next.
It's been interesting with this. Almost the entire group of ladies, with the exception of Tanya Kwiatkowski, have had very straightforward and relatively simple programs. They've not been complicated with intricate dance moves. That's probably because they have so much requirements of difficult triple jumps that it makes impossible to do. That was that. Sorry for that. There.
You did frighten me for a moment.
Well, do you remember in the short program she did the same thing? Her feet were absolutely sideways on the lutz and the toe pick point of view, and that's why she fell there and just salvaged it here.
And you mentioned the requirements, and there aren't required elements like in the short program, but there almost could be, because every judge looks for what triple jumps skaters are able to pull off.
Oh yes, there are required elements in the free program. Very specific ones, 2 different sets of dance moves, certain numbers of jumps. It's almost like a short program.
Right.
It's just that we don't publicize it. In fact, there are so many required elements in the long program, the skaters really don't have chance to be able to get in and create something choreographically interesting. There's no energy or time to do that.
Very difficult.
Now that's a good centered spin. Again, she's doubling it. Combination spin. That's a nice position.
Yulia Lavrenchuk of Ukraine in 12th place, trying to move up. Our live coverage of the ladies free skate continues with Michelle Kwan and the top contenders when we come back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard after this from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. We have 6 competitors left to go here in the ladies final tonight. Still sitting in first place is Tanya, and what it means is it guarantees the U.S. will have 3 competitors next year at the Worlds in Finland. So as we approach the final skaters, let's go down below now and check in with Terry and Dick.
Brent, thank you very much. Michelle Kwan put the fun and the speed back in her skating with her short program. She described it as having an absolute blast on the ice. What about tonight in the free skate, though, Dick? Can anyone step up and challenge her?
Well, look, this is a sports competition, and that's always a possibility. And certainly the other skaters here think they can, or they wouldn't be here. But, you know, the kind of important thing for me, at any rate, is not necessarily who wins the championship, but whose skating moves me. And Michelle Kwan's certainly does. She listens to the music. She pays attention to every move. She completes it. She completes every element and the program as a whole. She skates with joy and care and emotion and elegance. And in case you haven't gotten this, I like her skating very much.
She may just be the finest artist of her generation. Back upstairs to Brent.
All right, Terry, thank you. And within minutes, of course, we're going to see if Michelle can regain her world championship. After the warm-up, she'll be the first skater out in this group. Now, this week, Michelle confirmed her resolve to skate in the Olympics 4 years from now in Salt Lake City. And her experiences since her return from the recent Olympics will no doubt stay with her. One of the highlights came in early March when a parade was held in her honor in Lake Arrowhead, California. When the parade was first proposed, Michelle questioned whether anyone would attend, but a crowd of over 2,000 welcomed her home. And Leslie Visser had a chance to sit down with Michelle and reflect back on those hectic days.
Your dream was to win the gold medal. Where do you put the silver?
I think it was hard at first, you know. I think the hour after I got the silver medal, I was like, geez, this is not what I wanted, and I wanted the gold, and I felt disappointed that I didn't get the gold. But, you know, I thought to myself, you know, you're silly. You're absolutely silly. I heard people say, you know, how do you feel about losing? I didn't lose, you know. I went out there, I skated my heart out. You know, I didn't see a loser out there. I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't do anything like that. You know, so I feel that I skated away with the silver, and I'm proud of it.
What do you think was the difference between the gold and the silver?
I think inside I didn't show enough that I was going to do it. You know, maybe I held back just a little bit, became a little cautious, but I think the judges wanted that spark, that drive that I didn't have that night.
But as you know, 4 of the 6 girls in the top group had a triple-triple combination. Did you just not think going into it that you would need that?
I think for one moment, 1 second, I thought, you know, maybe I should put in a triple-triple. My foot's feeling a little better. But I guess when you're at the Olympics, it's not the time to change your programs. I mean, what's set is set. And I think if you change it, you're going to be crazy because you can't adjust as quickly.
A lot of people have made much of the fact that you didn't stay in the Olympic Village. Why did you do that?
Well, the reasons why I didn't stay in the Village was because I felt more comfortable with my mom and dad. And the Village is huge, and you know, I would have to stay by myself. And plus, I think 1/3 of the athletes were sick, so I didn't want to catch a cold before I skated. I went to the Olympics, and I knew what I had to do and how to get there, and I thought what was best for Michelle. And I think that was better off that I stayed at a hotel near the venue.
I think I saw you quoted, you said, I have a job to do. Do you wish in some ways that hadn't been your approach?
I don't think it's so much a job to do. I think there was a goal that I made for myself at the Olympics. And I went out there and I said, you know, I want to skate well. That's all I want to do here. I want to skate well.
What is it in you that you think you still want to compete through 2002?
I love competing. Even as a kid, I love the competition. I love the feeling you get. I mean, it's something you can't get anywhere else. I think it's good for me that the Worlds is so soon because I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are. You know, it's kind of, you win or lose, it doesn't matter because the competitions are never going to stop. You know, you just go with the right mindset and you'll be just fine.
One of the things we should never forget about Michelle's performance in Nagano is that in any other Olympic year, she would have won the gold medal. Leslie Visser is now standing by with a very happy and mature competitor. Leslie?
Brent, she is ecstatic, and Carol Heiss-Jenkins, when she came off the ice, said pretty good for an alternate. It was better than pretty good. Tanya, what were your emotions out there tonight?
Oh, I had a great time. You know, it was just to be here at the World Championships in the United States and to skate that well was just so exciting. I mean, the crowd was phenomenal. I landed the first jump and the place went wild. So it was really exciting, and I'm so proud to represent the U.S. so well. And I'm really glad that I skated well to help the U.S. get 3 girls next year.
Did all of that in just a short amount of time. And you know what, Terry? She works in television, so she'll probably be joining us sooner than later. Back to you.
Uh-oh, look out, Leslie. She's terrific tonight, 26 years old, college graduate. What a way to end a career.
Well, she's been one of the few skaters also who has maintained an education.
Dick, take a look right now at the skating order for this final group. Michelle Kwan draws the first spot, and then Anna Reshkio, the surprise second-place skater out of Poland, Letitia Hubert of France. And then down the list with the 2 Russians closing out this group.
And look at that majestic young lady. I think she's going to make quite an impact on the skating world in the next year or so.
Representing the United States, Michelle Kwan.
Twice the national champion, looking for her 2nd world championship. The Olympic silver medalist went home. She worked on getting more speed and getting rid of the caution signs.
Remember one thing about her skating. Honesty is central to her skating performance. There is nothing superfluous or nothing pretentious about it. The music, Lyra Angelica. Combination. Double Lutz. Very nice. Triple toe loop. Double toe loop.
She does have the same disadvantage she had in the Olympics. She skates first in this group.
Triple flip. That was exquisite. A difficult move, the forward edge always. Ah. That jump is always treacherous because of the forward edge. The back edge jump always more secure. Jump. Neat, clean. Now note this whole sequence. First a layback to the left. A camel to the right. Unusual for skaters to go in both directions. And now a step and a sit spin to the left. Triple Salchow. Double Salchow. Triple Lutz. Well, she's getting a standing ovation, and she deserves one. Two small mistakes, to fall on the double axel, and she doubled one triple jump. A minor mistake, the doubling of the triple jump. The double axel, a mistake. But, you know, the whole overall program is so superior, so musical, so complete, so stylish, that it's certainly worthy of a very high mark.
Her sister Karen
Oh, I mean, your family has got to be a nervous wreck.
Even with mistakes, she has the ability to take you places with her skating. Anna Reshnia of Poland, the surprise second-place skater on the ice next. Michelle Kwan alongside her coach, Frank Carroll. The crowd still buzzing.
You know, we expect so much of her, and we've seen her give so many perfect performances that when there's the slightest letdown, you feel as though your requirements are much greater. Look at that triple flip. You remember when she splatted on that a year ago at Lausanne? Well, today it was perfect, but on this one, the double axel, that forward outside edge, twisted around, changed the direction, and kept her out of place.
The first word when she came off the ice was yikes. It wasn't a yikes performance. It was better than that.
Well, there's consistency from Mark. I mean, you got to say something about the judges in this case. And very, very nice and very well deserved.
Always expect higher now for presentation.
And there they are. Yep. They could not give her a 6 with a mistake in the program. But good. Our friend from Hungary has come around and thinks so far that at least to this date, she's the best.
Tough to disagree with that after watching Michelle Kwan. So she is the new leader. And there are 2 Americans atop the leaderboard. Tanya Kwiatkowski and then Tanya Shevchenko of Germany in 3rd place. But she has been the surprise of this championship. 20-year-old Anna Reshnia, the next skater on the ice from Poland. The 3-time Polish national champion did not qualify for Worlds the last couple of years. They sent Zuzana Sved in her stead. But at the Olympics this season, she finished 19th. Here she is in 2nd place.
And she probably is one of the most rested skaters in this competition. This is only her 3rd international competition this year compared to so many more for most of the other skaters. And she had a great practice earlier on. Big, easy jumps, solid jumps.
There's your leaderboard, Dick, and the delay was because there were so many teddy bears and flowers on the ice that they continued to pick them up from Michelle Kwan's performance.
It was raining teddy bears.
Yes. For about 3 years, she trained in Marlborough, Massachusetts. She is now back in Warsaw. She changed coaches. And who would have thought that Anna Reshnia would be in 2nd place going into this free skate? Remember, if you are in the top 3 and win the free skate, you win the competition.
Had some stretch in those opening positions. This a triple flip jump. Ooh, wonderful height. One of the important hallmarks is to see the speed coming out of these jumps. Must be as fast coming out as it is going in. This her triple Lutz. Triple Lutz double toe combination. I couldn't quite tell if there was a little bit of a 2-foot on that or not. Slow motion will show it. Now look at the speed that she has going into this triple loop jump. That's fast. And almost. Very nice presence on the ice. And note that her arms are really not excessive at all. Double axel.
We've discussed the judges somewhat tonight. Give them credit. They judged Anna Reshnia in the short program on merit, not reputation. Trying to become the first woman from Poland to win a medal at the World Championships.
Again, look at the speed she has going into this triple Salchow. Good one. He's doing just fine. Notice this is relatively simple skating, straightforward. Very clean, not intricate steps. Triple loop, double toe loop. Straight line footwork. You could see the body just moving out of the circle as it came towards us. Very nice. You know, I think she's a very talented skater. Wonderful speed, wonderful stroking across the ice, big jump. She has a big presence on the ice, and that's very nice to see and very refreshing.
Letitia Hubert controls her own destiny in third place. She skates next. Back with a look at Juliana Becca, the Hungarian judge doing the Fleetwood Mac thing all week, going her own way.
Now I know it's funny and it's easy for us to joke about it, but we've got to give them credit sometimes that they don't always, you know, have the ability to place 30 skaters right at within 2 seconds of when they're finished. And sometimes accidents do happen. That's why there's so many judges, and that's why usually the best skater does win. Sometimes, you know, they're out one place, but the bulk of time, the best skater wins. And yes, she was wrong in giving.
I agree. However, when you see a skater receive a first place mark and a 13th place mark in the same program.
Terry, you ought to know me by now. I like taking the opposite side.
No matter what the point of view is.
Sure. And anyway, yes, you're right. And here the mark. You see, she's right in the middle there. 5 4s and 5 6s right across the barrier.
Trying to become the first woman from Poland ever to win a medal at Worlds.
Right. Now she's a little bit lower there, but there are others too. At any rate, that was a very commendable performance, no matter how you slice it.
So it puts her in second place, right behind Michelle Kwon. Tanya Kwiatkowski of the U.S. moved down to third place right now, ahead of Tanya Shevchenko of Germany.
A warm welcome now for Letitia Hubert.
So it's Letitia Hubert of France who will go after the leaders with her effort here in the free skate. In third place, she controls her own destiny. If she wins this portion of the event, she's the overall winner and will take home the gold medal. She has been so up and down in her career. Finished 20th at the Olympics.
Good speed. Nice triple lutz. Nice triple lutz. Very fine. afraid I'm not sure what all these arm movements are. At any rate, this is supposed to be a triple loop jump. Let's see. Good one. A little bit of a jerk at the end, but certainly complete and fully creditable.
She's been so inconsistent throughout her career. We've seen her have terrific nights. This season, she beat Tara Lipinski at Trophy La Ligue. Saw her in '92 at the Olympics when they called her the human Zamboni. She fell 6 times.
Double instead of the triple salchow. It's kind of nicely done to the music. Straight line footwork.
Her 20th place effort at the Olympics this year did not sit well with the French Federation. They won't allow her coach, Jean-Roland Rocco, in the training rink anymore. They have to go to the outskirts of Paris to train.
That's what we call control. The one thing I will say is many of the World Skating Association don't recognize the fact that the skater might sometimes know what is best for themselves and that they really cannot control artistry and artistic temperament. Now that was a nice triple flip jump. This is not a successful spin combination. It's almost coming to a standstill. Now that would have been one of the few triple-triple combinations that we have seen. But as you saw, the second one didn't work. Letitia Hubert was so discouraged with her performance at the Olympics that it appeared as though she almost stopped in the middle of her performance. This a final move, a double axel. Well, that was just not up to par for her either. And that will take care of her third place, I think.
Trying to hold on to that medal. We'll see if she can do that for the moment, at least, when we come back. Back with Letitia Hubert of France, her coach on the right, who's been banished from their training facility in Paris. They've got to go to the suburbs.
But look at this. In one of her moves, how close her blade came to the side of the rink. Now, that's just a really sloppiness on the part of the skaters. They have to pull themselves away from it. It's something they don't want to do. It's like, if there's a vacuum, let's fill it. Let's go all the way to the edge.
No matter the size. This is actually an NHL rink, which is about 85 feet wide, and the normal Olympic rinks are about 100 feet wide.
It could be another 200 feet. They'd still go all the way to the edge, particularly in the Lutz jumps. I guess it's called human nature.
Now, we talked about Letitia Hubert in third place, trying to hang on to a medal position. The judges have taken a long time to decide this. The first set of marks.
Well, very interesting. Oh, look at these marks. Now, I'm afraid I don't understand this at all. Those are strong. Those are strong marks in comparison, particularly to Anna Reshnio.
And they're stronger than Anna Reshnio.
And it puts her in second place. But look at that, Japan, a fourth, a fifth, and a fourth from Canada. There is some difference there.
It's a pleasure to introduce now
Reshnio in third place,
Lyashenko.
making a phone call, getting a few hugs, sticking around to see if she can capture a medal. So it's Kwan, Kubera, France, having just moved ahead of Anna Reshnio.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not quite confident in that decision.
Yelena Lyashenko of Ukraine in 6th place, 9th at the Olympics. Her best finish at Worlds back in 1994, where she finished 6th.
Now she has been quietly consistent through all of the practices and performances. Let's see how she does here. Good speed. Again, look at how close she was to that barrier.
Of this ladies free skate, the two well-known Russian skaters still to come, Maria Butirskaya and Arina Slutskaya, both having won European championships.
Triple flip, very good. Rather bizarre entrance into it. And that triple toe loop incomplete. Good height and good bounce into that camel, flying camel. That was nice. Triple loop jump. Little bit of a double foot and the landing. Puccini cries out for spirals, but really good ones. It's fascinating hearing these selections of music. This Von Suppe piece was the mainstay of skating back in the 1940s, if you can remember that far back.
Sure.
Axel. Again, that very dangerous entry edge to it, forward edge. Well, that was a very weak performance.
Not what she was hoping for. A lot of time spent on the ice, but not on her skates. Yelena Lyashenko of Ukraine. Two Russian skaters still to come. Maria Butirskaya, the European champion, the 4th place finisher at the Olympics. and Arina Slutskaya, twice the European champion. We'll be back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard after this from our ABC stations. Welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. 2 skaters left to go in the ladies free skate. Maria Butirskaya on the ice warming up. They both, she and Arina Slutskaya, with a chance to defeat Michelle Kwan. Here's Yelena Liashenko and her marks.
5-3, 5-3.
And those good enough to put her in the top 5, but that's for the moment.
Representing Russia, would you please welcome now our next competitor, Maria Butirskaya.
Maria Butirskaya will be on the ice next, and as we mentioned, fellow Russian Arina Slutskaya next. Now they both have a chance to defeat Michelle Kwan technically, but they both would have to defeat her. So they need help from each other. Certainly they both have a good shot at being on the podium.
Well, this competition is wide open in that sense. I mean, there's absolutely been performances here that have not been up to the par of these competitors themselves. And just remember how she pulled up in the European Championship with a very dramatic performance.
She was 5th after the short there and won. She's in 5th place heading into this free skate.
This, her triple Lutz. Very, very creditable. Triple toe loop, triple flip. Very good. That's good technical merit. Triple Salchow. Turns, and another triple Salchow, and a triple and a double toe loop. Ah, very nice. She's upping her technical merit in this program, and I think that will stand her nicely.
She's been so motivated this year. Won the European Championship. She hasn't really felt the support of the Russian Federation since 1993 when she went to Worlds and failed to get out of the qualifying rounds that cost the Russians a spot at the '94 Olympics.
Another triple loop, double toe loop. Bit of a 2-foot there. She's skating this very conservatively. Oh! That is just one of those things that happens. It catches you on the back of the heel. There's nothing you can do about it. You just get up and go on. What a shame. She's been having a very fine performance up to this point, too. Let's hope it doesn't ruin the rest of the program. Oh, dear. Well, at least she's smiling about it. I think a year ago she would have almost been ready to commit suicide. Tonight she recognizes it, and we recognize it. We should recognize it as a slip and something that doesn't affect the overall program, at least any more than just as a slip.
Just as Tanya Kwiatkowski got a standing ovation in her last performance at the World Championships, so too Maria Butirskaya.
Yes. Well, I don't know how the judges are going to react to this, but I've got to tell you, I think she's...
Tanya Kwiatkowski in fourth right now. Kwon in the lead. Arina Slutskaya on the ice when we come back.
5-7.
Maria Butirskaya of Russia in fifth after the short program. And now the first set of marks.
But, you know, I find her much more appealing this year than she was just a year ago. And I think it's because she's far more relaxed. Look at that. Very nice position. Very pretty. As she steps backwards and and does that. I mean, it just did it to me all over again. You know, it's just, you can see the expression on her face. Yeah, it just does it to you. But that's what skating is. It's treacherous at the most unexpected moment.
So the close of an eligible career, most likely, and she is in second place to Michelle Kwon. So as Arina Slutskaya, who's won 2 European championships, takes the ice, we can tell you that Michelle Kwon is going to be the gold medalist here at the World Championships. Arina Slutskaya needed help from Maria Butirskaya. Didn't quite get it. Kwon, Butirskaya, Letitia Hubert, the top three. And American Tanya Kwiatkowski in fifth place.
Now watch and see how close she brings this triple Lutz double toe loop combination to the boards. Look at her holding it right there. Well, that was enough room for that to be very fine. Triple Salchow. Oh, triple Salchow, triple loop. And that was a beauty. Haven't seen that good technique since Tara Lipinski came onto the ice like a blazing comet. When you see some of these failed jumps, you realize how important and how superb Tara Lipinski's technique is.
There's a reason she's the Olympic gold medalist and the world champion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you saw the curve of that jump. It was right in front of us where we're sitting. The curve went to the edge. You could just see that pole vault going to the side instead of straight up.
This is a young woman who won a bronze medal at the Worlds in '96 when Michelle Kwon won her last World Championship, and has spent most of the last year plus trying to get back to that form. She was fourth at the Russian National Championships this year, had to earn her spot on the Russian Olympic team by capturing silver at the European Championships.
Triple toe loop with extra turns on the end. Now she seems to be back to her old self. Notice the entrance to that, right out of a spiral. That's tough. at the loop. She somehow has picked up energy through this program. She seems to be flying. Good energy. The footwork's not particularly invigorating, but her energy is, and her excitement is too. Well, she's pleased with that one. She pulled off a lot of good jumps there. And her style certainly, I don't think is anything to write home about, but she's energetic and young, and
her style hasn't been the focus since she came on the scene a couple of years ago and won a European championship.
Nope.
She had those rosy cheeks that used to pinch during interviews.
I love doing that. And I said, I hope you don't mind. And she looked at me and she said, no, no, no. All the old men like to do that.
Irina Slutskaya trying to stand on the podium along with Maria Butirskaya. It'd be a first for Russian women. Well, we're not done, even when we are done this weekend here at the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. An evening of special performances. Michelle Kwan will certainly be there. Todd Eldridge Thursday night, prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern and Pacific, right here on ABC. Look forward to that. Well, terrific crowds all week here in Minneapolis. Figure skating such a part of the heritage in this area of the country. Irina Slutskaya collecting teddy bears. She has well over 200 of them in her studio apartment, which she shares with her parents.
And the teddy bear. And why not? You know, there's little enough pleasure sometimes out of the gruel of this training and this and the whole system of competition.
Michelle Kwan, by the way, has not been backstage. You saw Maria Butirskaya, but she has not been in the area backstage watching the results and or the monitors.
My bet is that the marks for Irina Slutskaya will be quite good.
The first set certainly is.
5-8.
I think the marks have picked up for her and have looks like they've moved her into second place for the simple reason that she completed a lot of technical merit. Very difficult. Triple combinations. The highest technical merit in the competition. And she had energy and speed. The style wasn't so great, but the speed, the enthusiasm, and the charm was, and that carried her right through.
That's as sincere a reaction as you're ever going to see. Irina Slutskaya captures the silver medal. She won a bronze in '96. This time it's silver, right ahead of Maria Butirskaya. But it's Michelle Kwan who captures her second gold medal at the World Championships. And there's Michelle backstage, along with her coach, Frank Carroll, making their way towards the ice. Well, she went home. She worked very hard between the Olympics and this event, and she wanted a second World Championship. She now has it. Slutskaya and Butirskaya round out the podium. And Tanya Kwiatkowski, a 6th place finish.
Isn't that great?
That is incredible in her last World Championships. And down through the top 12. So 3 spots for the American women next year at the Worlds. We're back with some final thoughts and some words from the skaters when we come back.
This World Figure Skating Championship flashback brought to you by Chevrolet. It was 30 years ago in Geneva, Switzerland, that 19-year-old Peggy Fleming followed up her Olympic gold medal performance with her 3rd and last world title. Her trademark layback spin was the model of perfection. The championship marked the end of a remarkable amateur career that also included 5 national titles.
Back in Minneapolis for a look at the National Car Rental winning moment. Who else? Michelle Kwan, the gold medalist. The combination, triple toe, double toe. She was brilliant all week long. And she is right next to Leslie Visser right now. Leslie?
Terry, everyone thought this was going to be Michelle's private party, but winning the World Championship is not easy. And Michelle, it was a fight out there, wasn't it?
Well, during my performance, it was all thinking, 4 minutes of thinking. And after I made 2 mistakes, I knew that I had no more options but to do everything else.
How important for you was it to win the World Championship to reclaim your title?
Well, I didn't win World Championships in '96, so it was nice to be back and be in the home country. And, the people in Minnesota were awesome, and volunteers, just everything was perfect.
And what about for you? Most kids your age now are waiting to hear from colleges. They're planning it in the fall. Is Harvard in your plans?
Well, I'm not taking down any opportunities. I'm just keeping my eyes open on any options. And I still don't know what I'm going to do with college. Harvard sounds really interesting.
Well, if you do, we think you'd get a recommendation from Dick Button. Congratulations to you, Michelle. Back to you, Terry.
He would do it any time, Leslie. There's no question about it.
You bet.
Well, the World Championships always have many stories, but no question, Michelle Kwan, the story of this week. Brent Musburger comes back with his final thoughts to wrap things up from Minneapolis.